Get yourselves comfortable so that you can be relaxed while we're looking. And the first thing, of course, that we always do is we tune in what's happening in our system as we're starting. Notice your whole body from head to toe. So, whatever is happening in your system, body, the breath, the thoughts in your mind, let's give it a moment to be seen. And we're going to work with thoughts directly in a moment. And before we do that, let's just tune into the breath and the body. Notice what the energy is in your body, that overall feeling, and then there's the specific. In this location, I feel this. Let yourself be drawn to the specific for a moment. If it's tight shoulders, you could let them relax and soften as you breathe out. You could focus on your breath. Let your breath relax your body for you. Exhale and go with that natural softening as we breathe out. And then notice what comes to mind. Notice the thoughts that are going through your mind for a moment. And as you're watching your thoughts, maintain some awareness of your body and your breath. And in particular, it's very common for us to hold our breath when we're anxious about something or afraid. As we're going through and doing this practice, use your breath to help stabilize you, to keep you present in this moment, to remind you that what we're doing is looking at something, we're doing an inquiry. And we're going to look on a very specific, detailed level. What exactly is it that's creating this feeling of fear or dread, whatever it is that you're feeling right now, as you're tuning into this? And we could start with words. We either hear words or we could see them as though they're written out. You could do that with your eyes closed. You could open your eyes and put the words on a window, like sometimes we see printed advertising or something on a store window. Start with the words. I am afraid of. I don't want this to happen. Whatever it might be for you. And notice the sound first. There's a sound vibration. Even when we're hearing them mentally, there's a sense of hearing them. They might be in a specific person's voice. And if there's any sense at all that the sound has some intensity to it, that the sound is causing you to be afraid or worried or uncomfortable, then do some tapping just on the sound. Keep the sounds in your mind. Start to tap on your forehead. Transfer your attention away from those sounds into the sound and the sensation of your tapping. And when the sound of the words has receded a bit, then bring your hand down. And notice what's coming in next. Is there an image of the words? Some people hear the sounds more and other people see them. If you can have a mental image of the words, look at that. And notice if one word in particular is attracting your attention. Maybe it seems bigger or bolder. Somehow there's a bit of a threat to the word or the words. And notice that words are made up of letters and letters are made up of shapes. Some of the shapes are curved, some of them are straight. Some round shapes have space in the middle. Have a look at the letters in the sense that they are shapes that our mind makes sense of and then form words. And look to see if there's anything about the shapes or the form on the page or the mental image that you have that's concerning you. Does it feel like those letters or words that you're looking at are a threat? And one of the ways that we would know that is we might have a sensation or some kind of a response in our body. Even if it's a fairly low level reaction, do something about it as you're looking at the sounds or looking at the shapes of the letters. Do some tapping on them. You could put a frame around that mental image that you have. Take your eyes around the outside of it. So you know already what's in there. You've been looking at it. And then put a border or frame around it and notice that there's space around the outside edge. And if there isn't any space around the outside edge, that's okay. And what you might do is move it up to the corner of your vision so it doesn't take up your whole visual field. And then see if you could put some space around it. Or put it on a wall and notice that the distance there is between you and the wall. And the words are on the wall, and you could trace that space around the outside. Looking to see if there's something about those words that's threatening. Tune into your breath. Let the words kind of move a bit to the background. If there's something very compelling with words, then you could continue to work with them. We're going to go now into the body and really notice what is the energy going on in your body right now. You have a sick feeling in your stomach, or is there pressure on your chest? Your shoulders went up to your ears. How in your body are you reacting to those words, or maybe if there's images? And as we tune into where that energy is, at any point in this process, we might be noticing other words or maybe images. With images, just like with images of words, with memory images, we could just look at them the same way, eyes open or eyes closed. Put it in a frame. If it's a video, put it onto a computer screen. Notice the space around the outside of it as well, and then either tap on it or trace. Take your attention away from the images into the tapping or the space around the outside edges. And then come back again to the body. And let's take a moment to notice what it is exactly that's happening in the body. Notice the location. And if there's a lot going on in your body, just pick one that seems of interest. And notice the space all around the energy. How big is the energy? If it fills your whole body, then the space would be around the outside edges. Sometimes it's a very compact, dense energy right in a certain location. Other times it starts intense and then it spreads out. You have a heaviness in your chest. Do you feel that down into your stomach, into your legs, up into your throat, your arms and shoulders? Notice the edges, and then put your attention as well on the space around the sensation. And notice if you have an image of the sensation. Sometimes there's an image of a column or something. You feel the energy in your body in a certain shape, and then the image comes to mind. It might have a color. If you're seeing an image, then work with the image the way you would with any other. So either tap on it or put it up. Notice the boundary and the space. And if you're not having an image, that's fine. Many people don't have images of energy. And then we notice the feeling of it. Is it moving or is it still? Is it pulsing? And is there anything about that that feels threatening? Like it could take over, or if it's very still, is there something menacing about that? And notice if there seems to be an intention. Does it feel to you like this is here to hurt you? And if it feels that way, there's no right or wrong answers. We're just looking. If it feels that way, then look to see how you know that it feels that way. There would be some kind of words or images. What is it about it that feels like it has an intention to hurt you? And energy can be quite intense without that feeling of malevolence. So if that's not there, then let's tune into the energy and notice more about it. Are there words or images attached to it? As you're sitting paying attention to the energy, there might be thoughts coming into them. If it sounds, we can tap on it. If it's any kind of image or words with images, maybe a video clip of a memory. Notice the content of that. This is a memory where you're looking out of your own eyes. Bring yourself back a step so that you can see yourself in the picture. Notice that you're looking at a series of colors and shapes that make up this meaningful image, and we're responding to that. Use tapping or tracing if it gets to be kind of intense and you'd like to reduce the intensity a little bit. And you could stay with the energy, stay with your breath. Notice what's happening in your system. Take a couple of deeper breaths. And look to see if there's anything about the images or words that feels threatening. If that collection of colors and shapes wasn't here, would the danger be gone? Are you still responding in your body? There's some kind of intensity there. All of those are natural processes. We're just looking. And notice if the energy or sensation is welcome. Is this something that's okay that it's here? Or do you really need this to be gone? Again, there's no right or wrong answers to that question either. Just looking, what is your experience right now? You could use the welcome phrases. Thank you for arising as you're kind of speaking to the energy. I love you. You're welcome to stay. And then notice your honest response. You don't have to mean that. Just checking that out. Is this welcome? Sometimes we have a lot of capacity to stay with something, and other times we don't. It's okay to back away from it too. If it's getting too intense, then do some tapping or tracing, or put your attention on the space on the outside of it. There's no effort at all in terms of aggression or I need to get into it. It'll be here and it'll open up for us when it's the right. Really do this in a kind and compassionate way. We're noticing what's here. We're noticing our willingness or resistance. And if there's an openness, you could let it know that you want to know more. Why is this sensation or energy here? Does it want to tell you something? Does it want to hear something from you? What's it doing here? We'll give that some space. Often words or images will come up. We could use our tapping or tracing with them. The feelings in our body shift all the time. This energy wasn't here a while ago and it won't be here in a little while. Or it changes intensity. Our experience with it changes. And notice if there's a feeling of threat right now. Sometimes we would use a word that's maybe like more like uncomfortable, or I would prefer it's not here. Other times there's an okayness of being present with what this is, an interest in it. There's something in us that's brought this forward, underlying the dread or the fear. And it's okay for us to be present with us, with ourselves, with this energy. To be met with our kindness and our attention. You could continue to do this if you want after we're off the group call. In the meantime, bring your attention back or if you want to continue, just end the meeting for yourself. Bring your attention back to your whole body again. Notice your breath, move around a bit. And notice if there's something you want to bring forward to look at some more. An insight might have come in, or maybe a memory that you weren't really aware is connected to this. And it would be great to spend a bit more time with it. If there's lots of contraction in your body, you could shake it off, stretch a bit, take some deep breaths, and come back.